Good morning. Welcome to the discussion segments of our program, early morning program, Good Morning Anambra. My name is Sijoma Uche. Ugonna has joined me this morning. Good morning, Ugo.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing? I saw you this morning and I said you were looking all blue this morning. It's amazing.
It's Wednesday, so you go traditional.
Well
So how far?
No, I'm good. We thank God. Okay, man, I Wednesday. I go see Busi Akwako.
Okay. It's good not getting one reminding me.
I'm a name. When came na reminded you, I'm a name.
Dalo, anyị na-anabata unu ọzọ tata bụ Wednesday ruo maka anyị si eme na tata ka anyị ji eme Igbo na-ele Igbo na-asụ ya asụ na-eme ụdị ọbụla anyị chọọ ịghọtago mana ya nwekwana onye ji akwụkwọ nọdụ ya ma mgbe ahụ anyị nọ primary school a na-ejide akwụkwọ ịsụọ Igbo ede afa gị kwụọ ụgwọ mana taa ịsụ oyibo ndị afa gị kwụọ ụgwọ daalụ nọ ọ dị mma ife anyị nunu nwere ịkpata ata bụ ka ife si gbatakwụlụ. Of course you know that this is a time when we look at the state of the nation. Ogetago ebidogo campaign ana na-emekwe na-emechali ọ dịka afọ dịka emekọ na ememe ebidogozi ya declares anyị open ife ya ekwuzikwu ife ya ememebe. So today I now see ka anyị nebanye anya na 2023 election campaigns, the emerging issues. Ịghọtago campaign a na-achọ ime kedu ife a ga-enekwasị anya wee mee the campaign ga-ebujezi anyị na election anyị ga-eme na 2023. Ọnya nwa bụ ife anyị ga-enekwasị anya anụ ụtụtụ a Ugo anyị nwere onye anyị na ya ga-akpịa.
Yes, nnukwu mmadụ so n'ife a na-eme. Our guest this morning is Dr. Alex Obigbolu. He is the special advisor to Governor Soludo on political matters. Norin Nenifem, good morning.
Dalu, good morning. Dalu. Dalu no. Tutoma.
Adima. Osetico. Aina nabatago ọzọ. Inugo ifeanyi kwu dog. No ka o si wee gbatakwụlụ ka a ga-esi wee mee election a na ife ndị a ga-anekwasị anya. Okay, and as Nigeria prepares to hold its 7th consecutive general election since the country returned to democracy in 1999, there are key issues that can shape the quality and the credibility of the polls. And then the much-awaited election, which will coincide with 24 years of uninterrupted democracy. Well, this is the longest we have gone in our democracy since these elections were very, very important to us. Okay? So far so good. I have to go rally CBDO before then. I know say rally I carry rally win election. Or one of the things I get you the pendulum naga. And now that the elections, the campaigns have started properly, how can you assess what Ifeme Gulu so far and Nebano now?
Well, in an election, the essence of democracy already distinct, but now the power of choice in the citizens. Obona menye vote emerofma and alhomia nyonyozo ncho. So that power be fair democracy is really unique. And MLA and Nigeria not every 4 years. Aro abangwe ajoi kedonye ichokoloya ka onodo or icholonye ozo. And ojo se debe ku ya na asi na mmadu nota aka ofe nota aka o lose be tasty. Oto according to leadership onota aka o lose be the flavor and lose be what he feels to make changes. So the constitution is 4 years, every 4 years. Na again opportunity and I'm saying since this Fourth Republic, since 1999, I'm a key player here, and I'm saying Nigeria has transformed in terms of democracy, in terms of freedom of expression, in terms of freedom to say Nevicha. We've come a long way, because in the past, ikwusie nke yi ndị ọzọ ekwualia a minority will go and nke kaba semie unu tụsịa vote edalia result unu na-atụ nke a na-akpọ ife ọzọ. And luckily for us, we haven't had violence because man were ways to react to something negative. So we have done a lot of magnificent transformation from that process. Today, in our elections anyway, in the last 18 months, in the Anambra election, first of all, it started with Warri by-election somewhere in Delta State. Then they came to Anambra. Then we went to Ekiti. And then went to Osun now. You see that there's been this transformation and the process, I can't imagine how many people no court. Anambra, nobody went to court. But second major court. Because if you go that it is the will of the people. So as Egekuna court, I see as the court pleases. As the people have spoken, the people will tell you now they have accepted defeat and congratulate the other person. So there has been a lot of transformation. But the issue, even the man natwaya, their needs, their aspirations, are they being met? And it's not just for any political party because parties bove kusejeje. Parties bundigas okay, ne if I kwatania, ne can I believe, ne program. But the problem now about the players, they are not in position of those parties. They are not at the helm of affairs or elected persons. Fighting where that love for the people. And of course, the few of them are distinguishing with her, but majority, and that has brought hardship on the people. And in an economic downturn as a result of COVID and now the Ukraine-Russia war is worldwide. But only nations that have prepared to cushion the effects of these things. And with a responsible leadership, we should have been able to cushion the effects of what we're having today. But you can see the way Naira has continued to slide.
And it creates more
and insecurity has resulted. So what is important in this election going forward is that now, if on Anambra cho abro if on Zamfara cho. You can wear ebefa kweta. But if the kabempa to onye Borno today, I see no insecurity. But to onye Anambra, I see insecurity but because he knows that insecurity is not as bad as it was before. So I see but. So for anyone, the trend is speaking to our people. If there's one common thing, Jikain China, Naswa Sibu, not in the southeast region. I am with this perception that this Nigeria, and Mexico, I have brought in Nigeria. Now, on you go, known as Zamfara may not feel the same way. Because Ocholo, Opoyenkie, and Yangwiolo. But everybody, they wait 4 graduates in the house. No employment. AJT application for all. Any chatazu, and asking again interview, make a food, na bugafa, lolo. So, Ije, na ganuzo, Sigua Sanata, Ewa, over 500 kilometers. I want a big for checkpoint. In Abatana, ni buy a single pack. Where your paper? A choba and kena ada adia. A choba engine number. A choba chassis number. Instead of easy, Kerivi Bunamuto, what are you? Who are you? It was a young person. Maybe you see the kanke dada. A man on subadi. So these are the problems. So I open when if a bump here.
Oji choke emele.
Eju echo na olu election na oge ku if bo bi.
Oge ji vote ekwu ihe ocho. All the man.
If you look at most parties, in fact the top contenders, the parties that are top contenders, the APCs, PDPs, and the Labour parties, if you know most of the contestants, they have come out, and it looks as if just few of them is telling the people what they will do. Part of the issues in this campaign, because if, for instance, now the candidate of APC, PDP are already throwing tantrums here and there. At this time, what would you say that the Nigerian citizens should be looking out for? few months to the election, we're here, and the contenders or the contestants are not telling the people what they will do for them. Someone is coming out to say, Emilio Kon, it is my turn. Some other people is coming out to say, don't vote for the Yorubas, don't vote for the Igbos and all of that. In all of these things happening, where do we go from here?
Well, what is happening is not strange, because the truth about the matter is that it is a question of give and take. The politicians have this perception from past elections that programs don't sell, that what sells is your ability to whip up emotions, tribal emotions, your ability to spend money. And the umpire has not been able to do an effective control in that area of bribery, corruption, affecting the system, political system. So what you will see is what you're seeing now. But in all this, we must still speak to the people. We must still tell the people what we have for them, the programs we have for them, and how we're going to solve the issues. Because that's what I'm saying. I'm coming to it. You know, okay, look at the misperception. You have said the major parties, and you said PDP, APC, Labour. How did you get the facts? The truth of the matter is that when you talk about major parties, in my result, I say first, second, third. So people tend to talk about three. You know, the major parties in Nigeria today is APC, PDP, APGA. And how do you know it? It's based on elected officials. How many have senators? How many have House of Reps? How many control state legislatures? How many control state governments? How many or who controls the federal government? So because APC is controlling the federal government, you can say they're a major party. So for me, when I look at major parties, I talk about APC, PDP, APGA, and Labour. Why Labour? Because they have a strong presidential candidate. But outside that, they don't have candidates. They don't have anybody who can deliver.
Maybe a change anyway could be coming through because yes, they don't have a candidate.
So
but it looks
until the next election, can you now change the pattern? Because look at it in 1999. If I'm as an reached parties, no, I'm go to the first election, chairmanship. I'm landing where I think it was 15% or 5% will be registered as a party. And that was how APP, PDP, and then it was the two major parties then, before the advent of CPC. You know, so the issue today is what are our problems? Like I keep saying, even Akpa, Onye, Southeast, the Ichi, from Akpa, Onye, Northwest, Northeast. And that's why you see a politician go to Kaduna, Arawa, and said, you know, I'm a Northerner. Don't vote for a Southerner. Because the way they have continued to confuse the populace is to say, non dia neme, nsobujadi. You see the question they asked a presidential candidate. See, na aina na water, na obu na ebulu oyisi. Then even noise in the Southeast. Problem na. So that is the misconception that is pervading different regions. But they forget one thing, that there's injustice. Because you have a federation. And the Constitution talks about equity. To make sure that everybody is inclusive, that there's inclusiveness in the system. Then, if you're in education, I am with federal universities. I apply my exam. In Anambra, got 10 game over 280. Onye Borno, Onye Sokoto. The highest somewhere, 110. You see, for sake of equity and justice, ke also Madisi, Nankai South, ke Nka Madeto. And it goes, Abianolo, na federal establishment. The same thing.
Okay, let's move on.
Now, when it comes to political situation, it's saying that there's no equity. No yobuna zota because unu mana population unu kankai. This is not fair.
Anyị nebanyezi anya na the critical issues that will kind of shape the 2023 elections, or which one of them will the preparedness of INEC, both the umpire made the election. The 2023 elections will be conducted under a new electoral framework. Yeah, it's oboro ifeana fubu. And that is the Electoral Act of 2022.
Yes.
A law that provides a more robust legal framework for the conduct of the polls. The law gives the legislative backing for more transparent voting, collation, and announcement of results. Oburu twice maybe recently I case na no natural manual transmission of results, natural beavers, natural a whole lot of things. And now I chant the INEC okay, many business as usual. When we can menu twice maybe a week but it does appear na INEC standing their ground. Even from paper I go this morning, no. You know, based on this electoral law, we are going to do it this way, and these are no going back on that. So if you have to assess INEC now, based on how prepared they are for the 2023 elections, how will you do that?
Well, my assessment of INEC will not be just on their preparedness, but on their past activities. And I will say, based on their two recent elections, and Anambra, which I was involved, they've come a long way. And that is why you can see there's confidence building. The politicians are confident that if they've been able to do this, then we expect that they will be able to do it. But now the problem in Nigeria is not the laws. It's not what you put in the letter of the laws that is the problem. It's the intention of those who are, by that law, meant to be players and actors. Because INEC chairman will say beavers, but will they come out on time on that day? Will they make adequate preparations knowing that you have some remote areas that you need to go by boat? Or that are inaccessible by road?
Network issues and
network issues. Do you do your test run? Do you do your mock-ups, and then put contingency plans in place? That is where the problem is. And let me say, the issue of beavers, I don't know what the problem is in Nigeria. You cross our border, Cotonou, into Benin Republic. Their networks work perfectly. But Nigeria, with all its funds, with all its population, and the quality of technology we have, nothing works. So I think that the problem will not just be INEC, but the support factors, like the integrity of the network, like the sincerity and loyalty and patriotism of the security agencies who are involved.
And do you see them succumbing to pressures? Because that's why it starts. They are now telling us that everything will go well, and we know there's this pressure that is on them to change things. Do you see this present INEC chairman succumbing to that pressure?
The two INEC chairmen, his immediate past and this present one, are men who have proven to be committed and very patriotic. But like I keep saying, you are just the leader sitting in an office. You have lieutenants, you have subordinates who you expect to have the same loyalty and patriotism you have. That is where the problem may arise.
This question have always, been asked time and time again, especially when the election season is coming, close. Is INEC truly independent?
INEC ought to be independent. INEC strives to be independent. But at the end of the day, the summation of their actions and the influences they get, and then the actions of the supporting support organizations, will put in a mix. Everything when you piece it, even taste it, you get water. Also, we can mix quite the same thing with a different taste. So these are the things that will come and people will perceive that they're not independent, or that they're independent, or they've improved. Just like my own perception is that over the years, there's been a marked improvement. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is this: their independence is a perception factor, and is as a result of what they do, not because of the law or the intention of the chairman.
Now, some of the issues, some of the issues rearing its ugly head in this country, particularly Nigeria, during election season, is that the citizens are easily bought. Now, election is coming. Presently now, the economic situation is nothing to write home about.
Yes.
People are suffering. People are going through all manner of stuff. And we know for sure the role money will play in this forthcoming election. Let's talk about the citizens. How would you assess the citizens this time? There's this breeze blowing. I said earlier on, you know, the citizens are looking for a change. The citizens feel like, see, we can do better. The citizens begin to understand that, see, we can take back our country. Do you see this coming election anything different from what we've always had?
Well, you see,
It's regarding the citizens.
let me tell you a personal experience.
Okay.
In the run-up to 2019, there was a lot of story about how PDP was a terrible party and that Buhari was the Messiah. And I engaged youths at that time. And they said, yeah, we need a change. And I said, Buhari is not going to produce any change. One person doesn't make a change. It's the mindset. It's our value system. And then I asked them, what is our value system? They couldn't come to a conclusion on one thing that can say, value system mine today or honesty. Is it truth? Is it hard work? What is it? Only recently, a 16-year-old young chap gave me the answer. When I asked the same youths, awesome quest for wealth. And everybody agreed and started laughing. Because it looks like that's the national value today. Quest for wealth, everybody naturally go. So the issue is, Nigeria is not the poorest nation. But you see somebody collect 2,000 to cast a vote. You see somebody collect 5,000 to cast a vote. And yet, she's not the poorest person. Go to America, there are still people who are poorer than that person. The issue is the moral, the value you have.
And what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah?
What do we do? Are we going to continue
So
like that?
the issue is to continue to educate people.
Okay.
Because this election, in electing the people, you have to first understand what your problems are and how do we resolve them. I'll give you an example. For me, I saw in Southeast today. And that was why I left PDP and joined ABGA. I saw it a year ago. I said, we founded this party believing in what Ekweme, late Alex Ekweme, believed in. That let's have a national party where everybody's equal. And then they fought and got in the constitution of the party that all elective offices must be zoned and rotated in the constitution till today. And we've been doing it. We supported Obasanjo Southwest. It went up north to Yaradua. From Yaradua it came down to Jonathan. Then it went up to Atiku. And then when it was our turn, they changed. They changed the rules. So the issue today becomes,
Simple.
very simple. We look back and say, okay, maybe we made a mistake. Because as at time Ekweme was doing this, the Southwest was majority forming a regional bloc, which they called AC. The North was calling their own regional bloc, which they called APP. Later, APP died and became CPC. AC transcended to ACN. Then the two of them merged to form the APC, to be able to take power from PDP, which was supposed to be a national party. So I asked myself, I've spent 21 years in that party. I don't believe in the ideals because they're not practicing the ideals lettered in the constitution.
Okay.
So you look at it in this election, therefore, I said, why don't we then as ABGA put in National Assembly members who are ABGA? So when they go there, they know the ideology of the party. They can now fight for a federal road. Look at this Enugu Onitsha Expressway.
Honorable, okay, let me
It's
pause
not
you
been
there. We are
done.
coming back. Let me pause you there. We are going to take a short break, and after which we'll come back and we'll continue talking. Stay, please.
The truth is that in Nigeria as a state is at a boiling point, and campaigning for especially presidential level should be issue-based, not criticizing. And I think any serious-minded candidate should not waste people's time with personal issue, but will talk about what is bothering the masses. The masses are in pain. People are feeling the pain. It's not a thing that it is. I have come to a boiling point. Even a baby carry the hand can feel the heat. So presidential candidates should not waste people's time with unnecessary campaign. Should let it be issue-based campaign.
From what I've seen so far, the campaign is a hot one indeed. It's a hot one because the three lions that are competing have very large supporters in Nigeria. So because each of them has very large supporters, so because of that, the campaign is very hot. You need to have respect for the other fellow. Besides, it's not a do or die affair. The campaign of it is not a do or die. You mustn't be the one to win. It's either you win or other person wins. So having that in mind, there is no need to start insulting the other person. Instead, it's better you focus on convincing the masses, that is, focus on your campaign peacefully. It may affect the election negatively because those people that have already made up their mind that comes rain, comes sun, whether the masses like it or not, that they must rule this country, they may go to the extent of rigging the election and committing all sorts of atrocities. But it's not good now. If the masses don't want to, then you go, because majority wins the vote.
The three key presidential candidates of different parties should not insult or abuse any of themselves. And each person should have each our own content of campaigning, not using the other candidate mistakes against themselves, because now what the youth wants is, what are you going to do for us?
I can anabatakwa gị n'oche Good Morning Anambra nke ụtụtụ Wednesday ka anyị nọ wee na-enenyesi anya ka ife si gbatakwuru n'obodo. And onye anyị na-aka nọkwa bụkwa Dr. Alex Obiobolu, Special Advisor to Governor Soludo on Political Matters. Anyị wee na-akpa campaign a na-achọ a na-eme eji akwado election na-abịanụ. Kedu ka o si aga? Kedu ife ndị a ga-enebanyesi anya na ya ka wee dị sure na ife ekwu ka na-eme? Anyị emetụgo ife dị ife ụfọdụ aka. Ife ọzọ ngala ka anyị metụ aka bụ the security situation of the country. These are some of the issues I point out ga-shape this 2023 election. Ịghọtago, anyị enenyego anya ka anyị na-ekesi kwado, ka anyị na-enyezi anya ka securities wee gbatakwụlụ. Anyị ma ife na-afịọ na Northwest, malụ nke na-afịọkwu na Southeast, ọ dị ebe niile kịta. Kedu, with all this dị on ground, Doctor, anyị aga-emekwa election a?
Nke bụ eziokwu bụ na election ga-abịa aga, ga-eme ya. But the other fact is, what is the percentage area that will not be fully participated in the election? Why do I say that? Ebe nwe violence, ebe beavers na wakoro, the instruction bụ na a ga-eme the next day. But nke bụ eziokwu bụ ọ bụ na enwe enough votes, mmadụ ewelu 12 million or 2 million wee na-aga mmadụ na presidential, ọ abịa na House of Rep ewelu 10,000 na-aga, and ebe a ga-eme the election na-eme rozi beavers na wakoro, maybe bụ only 1,000 votes ka enwe aba a ga-akpọ result. That's the law. Emela na governorship a. Onwe ebe na-emerọ.
Eziokwu.
Also na ihe ala kasị ka eje memuzie the next day. Because na ihe ala votes the bulky. Now, akpọzi ya cherozi Oba family Amanuke some boots and emerọ. So I get my election. But then the second issue, how do we provide security? Because problem, anyway, problems now are causing insecurity in the country today. One, our leaders have not lived up to expectation. So there's severe poverty, no alleviation. So the youths are restive. And those who have access to firearms are now becoming armed gangs. Second, the lack of patriotism of the security agents by the fact that they're not well motivated, also by ethnic and religious sentiments. So they have not been able to be effective in curbing the insecurity. And then of course the third one was the corruption. We see some of the ex-servicemen in courts on corruption charges, maybe misusing the funds that were allocated for security. So these are the issues. Again, you ask yourself, will the security agents be able to be alive to their responsibility? Will they be motivated enough to ensure that there's neutrality and that there's peace and tranquility? So these are the factors that I think will control it.
For some of the questions you have asked, what could be the solutions to those questions? For instance, you talked about the security agents and all of that. What could be the things that would say, okay, if this is put in place and that is put in place, then their loyalty comes alive? What are those things? Because time and time again, these elections is going to continue coming. And when you look at how Nigeria is structured, you agree with me that yes, we have the population in the north. Now, does this mean that at every election, time, the northerners are always, having it all for themselves? Because if we have to do this election for 20 years coming, and we're having the numbers in the north, and it looks as if every now and then the northern people or the people who will be vying, who are northerners, would always make the day. Where do the other, a tribe or other parts of the country, where do they go from here?
You see, that is what is the fault you have in democracy. That yes, is the will of the people, but then a minority may not be able to have their way. All they will do is to express their votes and they won't have their way. But what we did in Nigeria was to accept the fact that yes, we have different sub-nationalities and that we should encourage inclusiveness. And that was why the issue of zoning arose in Nigeria. Now, when you come to Anambra, for example, you can see in the north, vote. The north, Anambra North, enwero as much votes as Anambra South. But you saw that Anambra Central took, Anambra North took, the Anambra South took once again after the Mbanuju, since the Mbanuju. So there's been a peaceful agreement and people have lived peaceably without violence. Now, that is what you do in Cross River, they're doing it in Cross River, Akwa Ibom, even in the north. So if you had done it in Nigeria, I think some of these issues will have calmed down.
So now it's not being done in Nigeria, the larger body. But where do we, because see, it's a big issue. Like I said, this 2023 election is going to come, it's going to go. And of course, we've seen one of the candidates who a lot of people say he's the unifier. He's a unifier of of the people, of all of that, of everybody, and making such statement. What does he actually tell you? We already know that hey, you have these thoughts in your mind. It's going to come and go. The next election will definitely, most definitely, see the same thing. And this thing is going to continue happening. Is there a way out? Is this going to be a way out? Because if you talked about zoning in Anambra State that has peacefully happened, and of course that's the reason why there is no violence, and you see in Nigeria, what they agree is not what they're doing.
Yes.
Are we ever going to get out of this mess?
No, we will get out the moment our leaders become compassionate and agree that there are principles by which we have to play with.
When is that going to happen? That's the problem. That's the question.
And I think it's beginning to happen. They're beginning to see, well, this election, that if we want us to remain as one, you have to give in. You have to give some compromise. And I think with my experience I've seen, towards the final days, politicians in the north will begin to shift grounds, right? And that was why I guess one of the questions they asked our brother when he went up north. You see, so they appreciate the fact that the insecurity is coming as a result of people feeling excluded, right? Not just in political power, but in social fabric of the nation and economic fabric. You know, when you come to you have a parallel foreign exchange rate. You have the CBN rate, you have the black market rate, right? Which they apply. And then our people don't get access to get funds to do transactions in their business. And they have to resort to the other parallel rate, which is higher. And at the end of the day, you tell them it's equal country, that they are included, they're part of the country. So this is where the perception comes from. But like I keep saying, okay. And as I say, we need to prepare on two fronts. Good, we have two candidates from major parties now, our people, and we have one who is trending. But Obroso voter make a win, yeah? So we have to do the other one. What can we do? Let us now send a message. Because what they've always believed is not anything can divide us, that we're easily divided, that we can never be unified. So for me, I may be a lone voice, but I guess I'm getting heard now that they've seen it. Because when I left, they were, why are you leaving PDP after all these years? You're looking for, I said, there's no unity here. There's no truthfulness here. So what we are saying now is, let's send a second message. Let us send, in this whole Southeast, National Assembly should be ABGA. Why do I say that? Because ABGA can make a budget. President doesn't, just like Governor Soludo, he's going to present his budget to the House. And they can turn it down. They can prune it. They can alter it. Then I'll tell you, when I was in PDP, we had our sons and daughters who were members of the National Assembly. But National Chairman Boy or saying the voucher, you don't go against him, go and get a ticket. So, but if you go to a party, with a party that has a one mind, a spirit, then you can negotiate better on the floor of the National Assembly. That we need this road. We need derivation, oil derivation.
Ndị na-ege anyị biko no ọ bụ na nwere ife ịchọrọ itinye okwu ịchọrọ itinye n'ife anyị na-akpa ịkpọzi anyị na nọmba dị na screen gị now gwa anyị ife ịchọrọ ikwu onwe ife ịchọrọ ịjụọ anyị nwere nnukwu mmọnwụ taa ọ ga-aza question ọbụla ejụrụ ya tabi ya ọ dị maka anyị na-aga n'iru anyị na-enebanye anya n'ụmụ emerging issues ụmụ kilikili ife ga-eme ka amalụ ma election a ma ga-emekwa ya ma ọ na-ama eme ya ịghọtaga anyị enebanye anya kedu ka ndị political parties si wee kwado nebanye anya na security nebanye anya na INEC and a whole lot of things ife ọzọ ngala ka anyị na ya kịta bụ o nwere ife ndị issue pụtara ọfụ maka review of the constitution ịghọtago a na-enwe problem ma ndị NLC ma ndị House of Reps members na-accuse the governors n'ọfa nwa mee na ife ada aga ka esi wee kwu iche na ife a nwere ike affect onwe na-akpa anyị iche na ife a nwere ike affect election a na-akwado.
Doc.
Ọ dị mma before you go.
Hello.
Hello, biko gbatuo TV gị before ịkpọ anyị so that we won't keep hearing ourselves in your house. Okay.
The election is a different event. It's going to happen.
Okay.
The constitutional review, you notice here, has always been the same way. They spent, I was listening to you this morning, and I think you said about 1 billion has been spent. And the thing is now, we're not sure whether it's going to go through. The issue is that there has to be consultations. The governors are closer to the people, their people, than the presidency. So they want to protect the interest of their people. So if it doesn't favor them, they will do what they're doing. So it's good to engage them before you start the revision. You need to agree the gray areas, which I think is the best option now. In those areas, the governor's natural. Instead of wasting the money.
Okay. Yeah, hello. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, you're not there. Odema, if also come like an aya, Chebunaya Kibukonya security man okasukwa. If violence akfena for my name campaign. Atiku Abago, see Bugaranya won on the APC. And then there are other cases for attack on the level, different places in the country. Kedify game, because no we have quite here quick cause problem. Kai be kwa man on Wednesday. Yeah, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can I find KBC?
I'm from Ghana.
Okay, from Ghana. Welcome.
Having said that, Constitutional Review Committee, and it's in a government, it's a big slap to Nigerian citizens over their actions. One, local government supposed to be autonomous, judiciary supposed to be autonomous, so that in the situation governor or president want to be a tree in the forest, they can use that one to knock him down. Issue of state police also is a law. It's not that when somebody is coming to invade your place, because you don't have option, that person will remove the security officers down to guide the area. That is to say, it's a deliberate attempt to fix some people. But in the situation you have the security architect, the police and the guiding your area, nobody can easily invade your place. So I must be sure that these are the things that we're supposed to look into critically in Nigeria. If we really want Nigeria to move. And above all, the centralization of power, so that any state can be on their own. Directing your resources in order to support whatever you are doing in your state. Pay a little tax to federal for external aggression. If we are not able to do this, like when we have it during the day, we have 3 regions in Nigeria. It's going to be a bigger problem for us. Lastly, Nigerian government should know that this is a good time for us to reduce the cost of governance. The Senate, number of Senate and the House that we have there is too much. We should reduce it and make sure, even if it is a state, having one representative for the state, I think it will be better. So it will cost us less. Some of the departments we have, education, GSS, SS, SAT, these things, we'll put them together for this service. We have police service, having one head for police service, so that if there is something, we will one person accountable. Not something we have, police will be working to arrest somebody. GSS will be working to arrest somebody. Civil defense will want to arrest, not them. Civil, what you call them, man will also want to arrest. This is the bigger problem we have that makes a lot of waste in Nigeria.
Okay.
May God help us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Talk and do all the way from Ghana.
Talk and do.
Dalu.
He's raised some
Yes.
issues, Doc, especially when he talked about the decentralization, states should stay on their own and all of that. We talked about insecurity, and time again, you know, we've talked about this, every state having their own state security. Would this also be a big move as regarding the coming election if this gets to happen?
You see, I respect his views, but my experience in politics has told me that it's not always what you want to get.
Let's take pause, you, sir. Okay, go on.
Because you're negotiating with other people, and you have to have compromises to move forward. On the state police, there's an evolutionary process taking place already. I will tell you that in practice today, we have state police. It's just waiting for a time, just like when we were talking about Anambra being an oil producing. We're ready. Well, it was just a matter of time before they now officially give us that title.
1 minute, sir. Yeah, hello.
Turn down the volume of your TV set.
Okay.
As much as possible, please turn down the volume when you call us.
So the issue is the state police is an evolutionary process. Virtually every state in Nigeria now has a Kwashi vigilante system. And don't forget, it was Anambra that started it officially.
Hello, good morning.
it started with Abia, but it was the traders that were organizing that. And then Anambra imported it,
Okay.
and then with time made it official by law. And other states have started doing the same. So it's going to solve it on its own. Now, in terms of what he's talking about, states being on their own, it's coming also through an evolutionary process. You talk about IGR, because there's nothing to share again at the center. The oil is drying up. People are changing to alternative energy. The price of oil is falling. Were it not for the war in Ukraine today, the price of oil will probably be about $30-something. So the revenue coming in from the center to share is dwindling. So states are now looking inwards. So before you know it, states will begin to do those things that the federal did before. And there will be an agreement. So everything in democracy is not by force, is not through fight, but through negotiation, through persuasion, and then, like the president governor will say, we learn by doing.
1 minute, sir. Yeah, hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, you are not there.
You know, our president governor will say that you learn by doing. You know, so as we move along, and at these critical points where there are stress factors, nature will begin to solve it. People involved begin to resolve it. It's always better than the extremism. If you don't give us this, we'll go to war.
Go to war. Okay,
No.
I asked a question before and I want us to join in now. Let's see if there's anybody with us. Okay, nobody. Okay, I asked about what do we do with these pockets of violence, attacking political rally grounds and all the rest of this. And then I wanted to join it with these agitators. Was it last week we heard that one? That as far as they're concerned, there's not going to be any election in the East or whatever. So let's see how we'll manage this and make sure we'll have a good election 2023.
Well, let me say something. From my experience, it's not the federal government that does everything. Again, Nigeria, when they when a general state, the states have a role to play in meeting the aspirations of these young people, because all this lack of opportunities, hopelessness, sense of hopelessness, now cause this restiveness among the youths. So they become fodder for politicians. Because when a politician use as thug, then he can't do thuggery. So, like what the governor is doing now in Anambra, for example, he believes that even before you talk about campaign, not going to want something you put on the ground, that people have to be engaged, especially youths. And the programs is mapping out now, the youth program, Acquire 2 Skills, which has just gone through the ESCO, the Anambra State ANSEC, are targeted to douse and get the youth involved so they don't become fodder for politicians to use in violence. So for me, another angle to do is to talk about it. Get our statesmen, our elders, the religious bodies, the custodians of our moral values and cultural values, the traditional rulers, to continue to talk to our youth, to engage them, to enlighten them, to educate them. There's something else you can do. You can arrest them. Yes.
You feel you are being cheated, and you are cheating yourself out of the system.
Because look at what we did with the census. Today, NK based on population as one in this. Now you do not allow us count ourselves. And our population is less.
So to election, whatever.
I can't try to vote. So we need to educate them, to let them know that the violence is not the final resort.
Okay.
It's not the way to go.
All right. Your final words to our people as to get set to go. Get those in the Bible.
Well, even is in the Bible, one, there are 2 categories. One, the leaders. We must come together. We must know that an opportunity can lead the people, and we need to lead them right. We need to show them the right way. Or bro, even you may leader, but not to add. Otherwise, everybody will be a leader. So for me, what we need to do is, one, our youths have to understand that we have to allow elections hold. and we have to go out and express our desires. 2, our leaders have to understand that united we stand, divided we fall. Isaac can be broken, but Isaac you can't break it. And therefore, we must speak with one voice and let our people know, and rest of Nigeria and Malo,
Beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. That's Dr. Alex Obiobolu, a special advisor to Governor Soludo on political matters. That's the big fish we caught today that we have been na-achịgali uche ọtago na-akụzi ma na-azakwa ndị mala akwụkwọ. Dalo for coming, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. And I also like to thank the team. Good morning, team. Good morning, Anambra. Thank you very much. The camera guys. Thank you. The producer, Ifiu Nachuku. The executive producer, Chido Obidiegu. The directors and the whole lot of people that made it happen this morning. Thank you. It's been worthwhile. My name is Sijama. God will keep us, and then we'll meet again tomorrow. Ugo?
Bye.
All right, bye.